Hey everyone, today we are talking about stinky compost. Now, if you're in the city, most likely you do not want your compost to stink. So a couple pieces of basic knowledge will help you keep your compost fresh and smelling, well, like dirt. Really good smelling dirt. Now, the four key components of a compost are having carbon material, nitrogen material, moisture, and oxygen. So all four of these components will keep your compost healthy and it will keep it from being stinky. Now, let's talk a little bit about carbon and nitrogen material. Carbon material are materials like newspaper, cardboard, straw. Hay, on the other hand, is actually more a nitrogen product, so we'll talk a little bit more about that. But your carbon products or your carbon material, you really want to have about a 75% ratio of carbon material. You can go as low as 50, but if you start smelling that stink, increase that carbon material. Second component is your nitrogen material, and your nitrogen material are like your food scraps, which are vegetables, your fruits, as well as, again, we talked about hay. Hay is considered more green or a nitrogen material, so don't put that in your carbon ratio. The next thing that you really want is water, and it's strange, even with the tumbler, whenever we add material to or scrap material to our tumbler, we also add a cup of water because that water is going to help grow aerobic bacteria to help break that compost material down. Now next, what we're going to talk about is aerobic and anaerobic bacteria. This is important because knowing the difference between the two and how to prevent them will definitely help minimize that stinky compost. First, aerobic material. Easiest way to remember this is when you're doing aerobic exercise, you're moving all that oxygen through your body. Well, aerobic bacteria grows where there's lots of oxygen going on. And again, this bacteria is important to break down that compost, but it is not stinky. Whereas there is anaerobic bacteria, and anaerobic bacteria grows where there is no oxygen. All right, so we have a short clip of an example of anaerobic bacteria. And just a backstory, we purchased a worm bin 360, and we set it all up. We offset getting the worms for a different day because we wanted to make sure that the bin was completely set up, which means that I left scraps on the counter in a plastic baggie, and they had only been there for 2 days, so really 48 hours. And this is a video of me dumping that bag out. All right, so this is the plastic bag that we had on the counter for about 2 days, and you will see the hands going up to the noses here on the two kiddos. And there's Boysen in the back. Oh, he immediately knows. Oh, no. And like, there's girl Zen waving her hand in front. Yep. Oh, and there's me. It's gross. So now you get to see the expression of smelling anaerobic bacteria. It is not fun indeed. It stinks pretty bad. However, and again, that was only 2 days. I couldn't believe how stinky it was. So what we ended up doing is I scooped out those scraps and we ended up putting it in our tumbler compost because anaerobic bacteria, it will still break down that material. It may stink, but our tumbler's outside, so no big deal. Plus there's so much carbon material in there that I recently put in that it'll be fine, or it would have been fine because that was a little while ago. Well, now you know how to keep your compost bin from being stinky because we don't want neighbors knocking on our door saying that we got a stinky yard. Yuck. If you already are composting, we say keep composting. It is such a great benefit to you, your family, to the world, to everybody that lives on this planet. Hopefully this video helps you be more confident in composting. That's right, composting. To be more confident in composting. And until next time, you have a Zen Imperium night. Toodaloo.